Live with studios in Midland and Odessa, you're watching CBS7 First Alert News at 9 on the CW
A lot
West
of
Texas.
research goes into the perfect bracket. I research every team. I look up their statistics, who their best player is, maybe some of these small schools and somebody you've never heard of. He could be the key to picking that upset correctly and having the perfect bracket.
All right, you've heard it here first. CBS 7's ex-sports director turned morning anchor Jacob Brandenburg approaches his March Madness bracket with science behind it. In just a few minutes, how one software development company could actually predict the perfect bracket. Thanks for joining us for CBS 7 News on the CW, and thanks to those of you who are joining us live on the CBS 7 YouTube. I'm Laura Munt, and we start tonight with continuing coverage. SB4 was unblocked for a few hours on Tuesday. Then it was blocked again as the court system sorts out this controversial law. SB4 is the state law that would allow Texas police to arrest people on suspicion of illegal entry into the United States and deport them. Currently, that power only lies with agents empowered by federal immigration laws. The Supreme Court and the Fifth Circuit Appeals Court are both considering if SB4 can go into effect ahead of trial of the law's merits, which would give the law a more permanent status. Sheriff Ronnie Dodson believes that SB4 will remain in limbo for now because they're the most likely to witness the act of entering illegally, giving true probable cause to arrest someone.
It looks like the border sheriffs will be the ones that will have to do, will do most of the enforcement of this, and will have the capability because, you actually really and truly need to see the individual cross the river.
Meanwhile, Sheriff Thaddeus Cleveland doesn't see the bill changing much because they'll have to continue to transfer people arrested over to Border Patrol, which is because of a lack of resources.
First of all, my jail, I can only hold 7 people at a time. Second of all is the distances to Del Rio, Texas, which is about 2.5 hours, or over to Presidio, which also has a port of entry, which is about 3 hours. So in order to get those folks, those illegal aliens, repatriated back to their country, it's gonna involve some other resources that we just don't have at this time.
For more on how West Texas leaders feel about SB4, you can go to our website, that's cbs7.com. In some education news now, last night, the Midland ISD Board of Trustees had multiple people come out to speak about books inside of MISD schools that they say are inappropriate for children. They say that the books depict rape, incest, molestation, and more. One school that came up a lot was Legacy High School. While some speakers simply asked the board to remove these books and left the stand in peace, some had to be physically removed. A few people went up to the podium and read lines from these books to show the board what kids in MISD have available to them.
And so we're just bringing this up and bringing it out that you all as our leaders would look into these things and for yourselves and for your own children be able to answer the question, is this appropriate?
Another pastor who was reading parts of one of the books was escorted out by MISD officials. MISD has released a statement regarding yesterday's discussion, saying in part, quote, MISD takes this very seriously and will take appropriate action upon review of the books. Should community members discover a book that they find to be objectionable, they are encouraged to bring their concerns to the attention of administrators in accordance with board policy, end quote. To see their full statement on the discussion, you can go to our website, that's cbs7.com. In some health headlines now, 3 infants in Midland have contracted botulism in the past year. One was reported in August of 2023, one in January of this year, and another in February, all younger than 6 months. Botulism is a bacteria that can be found throughout our everyday environment, but infant botulism is the most common. When babies ingest the bacteria, it produces toxins in the body that they've not developed protections against. Some of those symptoms are constipation, a lessening of appetite, drooping lids, and respiratory difficulty. The City of Midland says it is aware of the cases and is monitoring the environment, although it does not believe the babies were exposed to botulism in the same way.
I've been in contact with the State Health Department many times and will continue to be, just to try and keep me updated, keep us, the Midland Health Department, updated about, are we seeing more cases? Is this a unique situation to Midland, or is Texas as a whole seeing more cases?
I have recently talked with some of those parents whose babies contracted botulism in Midland, and I'll have a full special report with their experiences next Thursday on CBS7 News at 6 and 10, and of course right here at 9 on the CW. Looking in the community now, where the Midland County Sheriff's Office is fundraising money to help an active investigator in his fight against cancer. John was diagnosed with cancer last September. It all started with pain in his abdomen, but when he got it checked out, the doctor found that he had leukemia. He's now recovering, but still has a long way to go.
It was kind of scary at that point, but life throws you a bunch of curveballs and you just keep on going, right? And you have to have that right mentality. Yes, it is scary, and I have a daughter getting married pretty soon, and I was wondering if I was even going to be around there for that. But now that I'm happy to be able to say, yes, I'm going to be there to be able to walk her down the aisle.
Next month, Maynard will be celebrating his 18th anniversary with the Midland County Sheriff's Office. We're going to take a pause now and talk your weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Tom Teefer-Teller. Tom, we were just talking, there's some showers that have started.
Yeah, a few sprinkles out there and some flashes of lightning to the north. Here's what's going on the radars. We'll take a look first off at that, showing you an area of showers and occasional rumble of thunder mixed in, centered up across portions of the northern and central Permian Basin, and some showers extend back towards the Fort Stockton area. Zooming in on what's been moving through. Again, it's lightened up a little bit, as of course usually happens when it gets close to Midland and Odessa, but we're seeing some scattering of showers from Gardendale north towards Andrews and up towards the Lamesa area. Zoom in on the north side of Odessa. Again, Gardendale getting a good shower, it looks like right now, but not seeing the flashes of lightning quite like we were. And down towards the Fort Stockton area, a few showers moving across. Everything's kind of on a downward trend, but we'll keep some showers in the overnight forecast. Not seeing the lightning quite like we were, as temperatures are a little cooler, down to 58 with a shower in progress out towards Schleiermeyer Field and Odessa at the present time. Winds have been a little gusty, sustained at 24 miles an hour, gust up to 30 miles an hour plus in Odessa as that shower activity moves off to the north and northeast. And this will continue overnight tonight, early into the morning, but it'll be very light as temperatures cool off only into the lower 50s early on Thursday morning.
All right, Tom, sounds like some good weather to stay inside and make your March Madness bracket. Millions of college basketball fans will be going over their final touches on their 2024 bracket right now. But the odds of getting a perfect bracket are over 1 in 9 quintillion, which is equal to 18 zeros, by the way. So is it possible to get a perfect bracket? Well, the answer is yes, but it's highly unlikely. No one knows what makes a perfect bracket, but that's why one Baylor student is creating this software product to predict it. Since 2017, Dusty Turner and his colleagues have been working on a computer program that sorts through the statistics of all the teams in a March Madness history to put out a possibly perfect bracket.
So we take that historical data, run it through some of our models, and then it comes up with probabilistic estimates of who might win each game. And then we feed that in through a bracket and then come up with the model's best estimates of who might win.
The games officially start tomorrow at 11:15, where Mississippi State takes on Michigan State, and you can watch that game over on CBS7. But that's not the only game that will be taking place on CBS7. A lot of the March Madness action will be on our channel, and it will affect some of our newscasts. Tomorrow's news at noon will be moved to KWWT My 30. Our 6 o'clock news tomorrow night will also be on KWWT My 30. And at night, Texas Tech takes on North Carolina State over on CBS7. The 10 o'clock news will start whenever the Red Rainers finish up their game. Let's take a look at some local basketball now, where one school has two teams that are looking to make a national championship run. The Odessa College Lady Wranglers are the 7th seed in this year's women's NJCAA tournament. This will be their first trip to the national tournament since 2019, and it's a challenge that the whole team is ready for.
To hear your name called, to know that you finally accomplished, all the greatness that is Odessa, and you're finally a part of that. That's Emotional. You want to live up to, what you came here for, but you also want to live up to, what the standard is, and the standard is excellence here at Odessa. And so it's good to be, in the elite, with the elite.
Just the way we practice already got us mentally and definitely physically prepared. Like, I think we are ready. I really do believe we are ready.
The Lady Wranglers will face the winner of Eastern Florida State and South Dakota Sciences next Wednesday in Casper, Wyoming. And the Lady Wranglers will be accompanied by the men as their basketball team makes its fourth consecutive trip to compete for the NJCAA in Kansas. Head coach Chris Bowman is thrilled about the opportunity for such a young team.
I'm really happy for this group because we have 13 new guys, and for these guys that experience going to Hutch and playing in the sports arena and doing that thing is going to be a really, really great experience for these guys. I hope they can make some big shots for us. We got some guys I hope can get some big rebounds for us. So, but I really, really like the way our team is built, and I'm kind of like where we're at right now going into this tournament.
You don't want to be that team, the team that doesn't make it, because that's the odd guys. So I feel like we continue the tradition. We should do better. We got a good chance to do better, but the tradition here is to win, and that's the goal here is to win national championships, hang banners. So yeah.
The Wranglers and Trinidad State will go to head this Sunday at 7:15. You can watch that game on ESPN+. And a river dispute more than 80 years in the making is now before the Supreme Court. Texas, New Mexico, and Colorado want to change an agreement on dividing the waters of the Rio Grande. CBS7's Washington News Bureau reporter Brendan Cullerton breaks down the case.
In the original Supreme Court case, Texas sued New Mexico for allegedly taking too much of the Rio Grande's water. Now, states are teaming up in court against the federal government. Attorneys for New Mexico say the Rio Grande River has changed a lot since Texas, New Mexico, and Colorado made a sharing agreement in 1938, and so has states' ability to pump water out. States argue they do not need federal approval to modernize their agreement over time.
This court has recognized the right of states to clarify an ambiguity in an interstate compact, so long as the clarification is consistent with the compact. Here, the consent decree measures Texas's share of the Article 4 delivery in a manner that is expressly contemplated by the compact.
Attorneys for the U.S. say there is significant federal interest in the water, and New Mexico's pumping could impact a long-standing treaty to share water with Mexico.
We are concerned that the groundwater pumping is occurring at unsustainable levels, which will have a devastating effect over the long term on the supply of project water, and that will mean down the road that we might not have enough water to meet irrigation demands in the districts and in Mexico.
The Supreme Court suggested the case could be solved without their intervention. If the High Court does rule on the case, it would likely hand the ruling down in June. In Washington, I'm Brendan Cullerton.
Still ahead, across the state, airports are planning for an influx of Eclipse viewers in private jets. We talk about their first-class flights next. The Waco Regional Airport is expected to welcome more travelers here for the days surrounding the eclipse, which is just 19 days away. But the most travelers they are expecting are not coming the way you might think. The Waco Regional Airport is expected to see around 10% more passengers take commercial flights to and from for the eclipse. But they are really preparing for the increase in private jets arriving. The airport is expecting upward of 60 private jets to arrive for the eclipse. However, to manage the influx of private planes, the airport says its flight schools will not be flying on April 8th, which will help keep the skies clear for visitors.
Well, we're going to be looking at a few clouds in our forecast overnight tonight, and a few showers are going to hang around. Then things start to clear out. We'll talk about the forecast for the rest of the week up next.
Now, from the CBS7 First Alert Weather Center, here's Chief Meteorologist Tom Tiefertiller.
Well, scattered showers, a couple of rumbles of thunder moving across West Texas and the Permian Basin. Let's take a look at the wider view now. Not quite the detail, but it kind of shows what is happening. This big upper level disturbance is moving across. We're seeing the scattered showers formed up here into the upper Trans-Pecos. Then some of that moved into the Permian Basin this evening. It has some flashes of lightning, rumbles of thunder, and some wind gusts up to 35 miles an hour in Odessa as that little thunder shower collapsed across the area. It looks like another little thunder shower near the Fort Stockton area. So we're going to see a little bit of maybe some brief shower activity out of this, but it is kind of on a downward trend. There you see that disturbance scooting across right now on the base of this trough and upper level low. All this is going to move out by late tomorrow, and it looks like we're going to see a nicer end to the week as this ridge of high pressure back out west is going to bring some changes to our forecast and make for a nice start to the weekend before another front whips in. Again, most of the shower activity back towards West Texas on the state view of the satellite and radar right now. As temperatures across the state, again, we've cooled off quite a bit. If you thought it was chilly out there, it is, thanks to that rain we had and those gusty winds. We're at 56 now, 65 up towards the Lubbock area, and plenty of 60s over across East and South Texas. Take a look at that futurecast showing you the isolated shower activity. Again, we'll move off to the east as the evening progresses. We may have a few sprinkles coming up for tomorrow in the afternoon hours as that upper level low and storm system moves up and out of the area. Better chance of storms over towards the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and there you can see the clearing skies coming up for West Texas. So for the rest of tonight, throw in a raindrop or two, but I think we're going to be about done by midnight tonight. Temperatures into the lower 50s as we'll have this south to southwest wind across the area. Then tomorrow, lower 70s on the way with some clearing skies by the afternoon, and that's going to be the trend for the rest of the week and into the start of the weekend. Thanks to that ridge of high pressure moving across, but everything's moving fast, and we'll see another big trough set up across the western U.S., swing another front through, bring gusty winds back to our forecast coming up on Sunday afternoon, and some of that will continue with some milder air next week.
Coming up, Princess Kate hasn't been seen in weeks, and questions surround her disappearance. Next, we show you the last video released of her and break down the questions that are being raised about her health. New developments are fueling even more speculation about the health of Britain's Princess Kate. Ian Lee has more from London.
Where in the world is Kate Middleton? This video, shot over the weekend and obtained by TMZ, appears to show the Princess of Wales, but it didn't stop the press. A UK paper now reports at least one person tried to access her medical records at a London clinic where Kate underwent surgery in January. A government watchdog has launched a probe. The hospital says they believe all their patients deserve total privacy and confidentiality. Kensington Palace maintains Kate will be back to work after Easter, but interest in the princess continues to soar after the royal release of this digitally altered photo. And now a second picture the palace said was also taken by Kate is called into question. A warm family moment with the late Queen. Picture agencies say it was altered at the source. CBS has found discrepancies, including the Queen's tartan skirt not quite lining up, along with black patches behind Kate's sons. For other senior royals, it's been business as usual, so too on London streets. Thoughts on the Kate Middleton drama?
I feel sorry for her, and to be fair, I think people should leave her alone.
We need to respect that she's a human being.
Do you guys care about the drama?
There isn't a drama.
There's no drama. Here, they keep calm and carry on. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
All right, Tom, I think I need to take a trip to Dallas soon because people in Central Texas are getting a chance to try out the new concept restaurant from McDonald's. It's called Cosmics, and they don't serve burgers or French fries. Instead, they sell drinks, sandwiches, and snacks. And while there are regular menu items, you also can customize your drinks to your liking. So it's kind of like a cool coffee shop with snacks, and I think I would really enjoy this.
Yeah, I think it is going to be something that takes off if, you know, big corporations sometimes can come out with these great ideas, and if it doesn't meet some metric, they close it up.
Hopefully it works and we get one in Midland.
It looks neat.
It does, isn't it? Locations are planned for the Dallas area in the coming months, and the first Cosmics opened a few months ago near Chicago. So we've got one opening up in Texas, or opened in Texas. So hopefully there's some more. So
well, the McDonald's around these parts though are really fancied up. If you've been to one
I have the one on Fawdry, I think.
Yeah.
Is,
then the one down here on
super
42nd.
digital.
Yeah, it's all new stuff. So good looking stuff there. Probably a good night for maybe an iced coffee, something like that.
Right.
Maybe something warm because
warmer.
it's 56 out there right now with a few sprinkles. That's going to clear up tomorrow. We'll see those temperatures into the lower 70s, and it looks like a great end of the week and start to the weekend, as we'll see those temperatures back into the 70s.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for watching CBS 7 News at 9 on the CW. We've got more news coming up tonight at 10.